I wasn't recording when I painted my thumb. Luckily, it's only one coat. I feel like a dumbass. Anyway, so this is Adora-A-Ball from Essie. It's one of the polishes that I got in my haul. And according to the Essie website, it's discontinued. And it's supposed to be a pink. But it's not. It's like an off-white. And even the little dried up parts, like sometimes when a polish fades, usually like the dried parts inside like the threads and stuff will retain the original color. In this case, it did not. It's like an off-white. And I don't know if I mentioned that it's discontinued. But according to the Essie website, because I googled it, it's discontinued. And it's supposed to be a pink. I also found like a nail supply retailer that's selling these severely discounted at like for $5 a bottle. And the picture that's up on the website is pink. It's like a baby pink. It's similar to the color ballet slippers, which I think is still available. So I don't know, because while also Googling the shade, I came across a blog, and the person bought the polish new, it looks like, to swatch it, and they describe it as an off-white. And the picture on the blog, the color looks identical to the one I have. So I don't know. Did it fade? Is it a batch inconsistency? I have no idea. But, you know, it's definitely not pink anymore. It kind of looks like the color of teeth. Not like, you know, the fake teeth. It looks like the color of natural teeth. Like an off-white. And I think this is going to be a 4-coater. I'm going to want to continue with a voiceover for the continuation of this video, because I pretty much rant about stupid stuff anyway, and it's kind of pointless, and it would be, I think, more educational to go more in depth with the previous things that I talked about with regards to this color. So I'm going to upload or overlay the swatches of this shade from Essie. Give me a second to do. So here is the Essie website photo. I did crop it because it had a lot of negative space. And you could see the hand model with the color, and it looks pink. It even looks pink in the bottle. It's a really pretty baby pink, and they have a lot of similar colors like this that are like different names. I think ballet slippers is one, and then something tux is another. So it's not at all that unique of a shade, but it looks pretty much pink, right? And that's why I'm like thinking to myself, all right, I think that my bottle faded, right? Because I've witnessed fading. So I own a lot of purple nail polishes that have faded to pink. I know that they faded to pink because I owned them. When I bought them brand new, they were purple, and now they're pink. With this nail polish, I can't be certain of what color it was because I bought it secondhand. And I'm not against buying things secondhand because, you know, you can't get them anymore and they're discontinued or vintage, and it's really nice to have them, especially if they were colors that you loved. So I find it very possible that this color faded. However, after going into a bit of a deep dive, I actually think that the Essie photo swatches are misleading. I don't think that this color is pink. I'm going to continue inserting a couple more of the color swatches from the Essie website. So here I ended up cropping out the little circle and the bottle they're also off of the Essie website. And they clearly look very, very pink, right? In comparison to my bottle. So like I'm trying to insert the photos so that you can kind of look at it in comparison to the bottle that I have and, you know, make your determinations there, right? And here off the Essie website, we have the actual little description of the color. Irresistible, charming, a delightful, sheer, soft pink nail polish, perfect for a French mani and a twirl at the cotillion. Give it a whirl. So even the description is describing it as a pink. However, here is where I see it as they're kind of like messing with the color swatch, because the only way I'm able to get this is if I do a screenshot. So I'm going to do a screenshot of this particular thing. Give me a moment. All right. So let's check up. I can't talk. So check out the search. Home, nail polish, enamel, whites, Adora-A-Ball. Not pinks, whites. Isn't that interesting? So that had me kind of like scratching my head, and I'm sorry for the little phone notification noises that are coming up in my voiceovers. My apologies. I'm gonna get better at this. Because I'm terrible at editing, and this is editing. So yeah, so this is a head scratcher, right? All right, so now let's get into the swatches that I pulled off of people's blogs and off of Reddit, because that's going to be where it gets really interesting. Okay, so here is an overlay of a swatch photo I found on Reddit of someone looking for this shade, Adora-A-Ball. Look at the bottle color. It is exactly the same as mine. And right now, I think I'm kind of hiding it under the overlay. I have to get better at this inserting stuff. I'm sorry about that. And if you look at her nails, yes, they look pink because her nail beds are pink. When I'm painting it on mine, I don't get that pink effect because my nails are stained. That's part of the reason why I don't like swatching sheer nail polishes with stained nails, because they make for a false swatch, right? Because it muddies the color. But check out the color of the bottle of the nail polish in comparison to the color of my nail polish bottle. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move that picture down, and you're going to have to disregard me complaining about the picture and not being able to see the bottle. So I'm going to do that in post editing. But yeah, like the bottle is identical in color. It's an off-white, and it only appears pink on the nail because of the pink nail beds. I'm sure if this was someone that has more melanin in their skin, it would appear even different on them, because, you know, humans are a gradient of browns, right? So you have like really, really, really light peachy brown, like white people, and then you have really, really dark brown, like black people, right? So like your nail beds will also vary, and they even vary among people with different skin tones. Some people have lighter nail beds and pink nail beds, and other ones have brown nail beds, and it's like no one has the same color, right? And then you have staining and all that jazz. So like all of that factors into how a sheer polish will look on the nail. Anyway, I digress. So, yeah, let me fix that up, and then I'm going to bring in the next swatch photo that I found off of a different website, off of an actual blog website that was blogging about. So, I wanted to take like a screenshot of the actual blog posts so you can see the date, August 23rd, 2014, which kind of lines up with the batch code, I think, on these for mine. And as you can see in her photo, it's also an off-white. It does look a bit more pink on her nails because she has slightly pink nail beds, and she also has a much darker skin tone than me, but still has pinker nail beds than I do because hers probably aren't stained. I'm very jelly. But regardless of that. So like the website, or her website, I guess is it yukiloves.com, or I don't know. It's also like Yuki Loves WordPress. I don't know if I'm mispronouncing the name, and if I am, I completely apologize. I just wanted to like show this and give credit where credit is due, because she put in the work for the original blog about this nail polish when it first came out. So if I did butcher the name, I do apologize in advance. I am going to switch to just the photo and not this whole picture. Alright, so I wanted to credit the website before I just downloaded just the photo of her nails, which are lovely, by the way, and used it for my video. So take a look at her bottle of polish in comparison to mine. They're pretty much identical. Mine doesn't look like it faded at all. And the only reason it looks more pink on her nails than in her bottle is because she doesn't have stained nail beds like I do. Mine doesn't come out as pink because mine are stained. So I find this very interesting, since this blog post is from 2014, which means this was a brand new bottle, which means there is no fading in this bottle. So the swatch photos and the photos of the bottle on the Essie website are actually inaccurate. They're deceptive. And this doesn't always happen, but it happens a lot. Like, I get tricked a lot by picture swatches. I probably should also read descriptions, but even in the case of the description of this nail polish, they describe it as a sheer pink, and it's not a sheer pink. And this brings me to the end of my little voiceover and my little descent down a rabbit hole, and we're back to the regular stuff. Alright, I think all I need is final 2 coats, and that will bring it to the level of opacity that I want. We'll see. But, crap, I dinged it. Can I smooth it out a bit with my hand? Because, like, it's dry to the touch, but you can still ding it. And I dinged it on the tripod. Crud. Can I kind of buff it out, though? And I added a new ding. Alright, I kind of buffed it out. That should get fixed with the next layer. So, excuse me. Yeah, now that it's up to the 4th layer, 10 minutes of dry time is kind of only makes it dry to the touch. It's gonna need like a good half hour to be like really dry at this point. I'm also not doing the 10 minutes between layers. I'm doing 10 minutes between 2 layers. That makes a big difference too in how easy it is to ding or mess up, or how, or if it'll extend the weight of your drying time, that kind of stuff. But it is what it is. Whatever. I'm not mad at it. I actually enjoy the dry time. I like to watch a movie or binge watch a TV show, and I don't know, I find waiting for enamel nail polish to dry relaxing, and I like it. I don't think I'd really enjoy gel polish quite as much. I think it would be interesting to play with it, see how it goes, you try it out, But if I'm honest, I don't think I'm gonna like regular colored gel polishes. I might get into using them, the clear one, as like a base coat to protect my nails. But I don't foresee myself into getting into like the colors, because there is no dry time. Essentially, you stick it under a lamp for a minute and it's done. So I don't think I would get any relaxation from that. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'm open to it now that I have them. I do need to get a lamp. And I don't mind trying them out. Worst case scenario, I don't like them. And I go back to doing what I always been doing. But at least I can say, hey, I've tried it. And when people suggest, hey, you really should do gel nails, it'll help with the breaking and stuff, I'll be like, I rather deal with the breaking. I've tried it and I don't like it. So, yeah. Alrighty. I do have to clean up where I flooded my cuticles. That's not very pretty. I tend to do that with my other hand and then mess up the manicure on my other hand instead of with like an orange stick or a cleanup brush. I don't think I have a cleanup brush. I should get one. But my fingernail works just as well. Why waste money on a brush? Alright. We are almost done with this. Alright, so that's the 6 coats. Hopefully I was in frame while doing it. If not, oh well. And I want to let this dry down. I'm going to take some photos as is, do the official swatch video, and then I'm going to come back and do the actual design that I had in mind. I think this is as good as it's going to get as far as the opacity. Any more layers than this, I mean, maybe I could do a 7th. It's going to start getting too thick and very prone to chipping. Alright, see you guys later, okay? Bye.